Success. Can you smell it? Have you ever smelled it? How does it smell?
Great.
Yeah, really? Did that smell ever turn sour? No? Oh, another one of those. That's one of the nice things about coming here, because you get the opportunity to be with others as your value systems are thrashed. You know, the door you walked in is still open. Not a problem. It won't bother me. But, you know, success is more than just a concept. As a matter of fact, sometimes it becomes one's measure. It becomes one's life purpose. I never had that problem growing up, because I never ever saw anything that I truly wanted to be successful in, so far as learning a profession or becoming something for the sake of. Then I looked at myself in the mirror and said, I am a success. But it's not to say that I didn't or I don't have values that are somehow or another connected to my concept of success. Now, this is going to be a self-exploration today, because I cannot really in depth go into your idea of success. But I think all of us deep down inside, or most of us anyhow, we know that it's a wild goose chase, success. I mean, after all, it is an ego attachment. Look at how much importance you place upon it. But it is something that's applied from the outside, and it's accepted within us. And, you know, it comes as kind of a judgment. I mean, after all. Fortunately, my father was a person who could do many different things. And in that, I think there was that modeling that took place to where I likewise learned to do many different things. Not that I could say that I mastered any of them, but I could and I can still do a lot of different things. Now, inside of me, I may have that as a frame of reference so far as my own success. But then again, I've also gone to the human school. It's called the School of Hard Knocks. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've gone to that one. And in the process of going to it, I've discovered things that, while I may have been really expressive initially about I'm right and this is the way it is and so on and so forth, go to the School of Hard Knocks and you get a little softening that generally takes place to where you're not quite as adamant about your rightness and as you were. But in its place, what happens is we begin to experience more depth. It's not to say that all of us are shallow to begin with, but it doesn't matter whether you have that as a base frame. Eventually you do learn, and that learning shapes itself as depth. And then also you begin to experience, what do you have? What is it about you that has substance? What is your substance? And then, how authentic are you? So that kind of education has really enhanced my sense of self and also then what I have as a frame of reference in relating to others. I sometimes marvel when I see young, talented, capable, strong people who are so full of themselves express what is, realizing that what is right now to them, there's a very good chance if they live long enough, it'll change. That's one of the advantages of living longer than just today. You get to learn from experience, because experience is right there to help you to perhaps reshape your definition of success, or perhaps even move it aside to where you realize that, kind of like a life review, when you die, you're going to have a life review. And everything that you've ever done, the effect that it's had upon everyone, is going to be brought to your attention without judgment. Now, right now, that may be hard for you to imagine because you've lived for so long and are so full of judgment that it seems like it's impossible for any other corner of the universe to exist without that in operation. But the fact of the matter is, the rest of the universe operates quite well without judgment. And if we can ever get to that place in our own developing of depth and substance, then we realize judgment really interferes in many and most instances, if not all, so far as our actual accomplishing things. So, you might want to look and see, well, have you realized the underlying truth about yourself? What the hell is that? How big and nebulous can you be? Have you liberated yourself from ignorance and illusion? Oh, come on, let's do something easier. Have you become the divine you are? Yes. Everyone, please stand up. So, we're really talking about our authenticity here, about being an authentic human. So far as how this ties into what we're speaking of here, let's just look and see that it's the manner and way in which we respond to life's challenges that creates within us the depth and the endurance of our authenticity. We can miss that for a long time. And if we do, we're running under the assumption that our egoic input is really the best guiding influence for us. But if we keep listening to that, we find that we create a lot of suffering for ourselves. And often, we impose that on others. We say that it has to be our way. It cannot be another's way. And we really are missing the mark so far as expressing our genuine authenticity. We really have kind of shallowed out in that sense. And we're looking to try to rearrange our lives that will then come to a place of our being happy by approaching it from the outer. But we do know better than to run away. We do know better than to blame others. We do know better than to whine and plead to the sky or berate ourselves. We know better than this. And when we are involved in discovering and living our depth, when we are involved in discovering our capacity for genuineness, we dig in. You know, sometimes what happens is we may think it's life doing it, but really we're doing it. And that is, we find ourselves alone. We find ourselves in a situation where it seems like no one else is there for us, no one else appreciates what we're going through, no one else understands it. And others don't even seemingly want to hear our story, especially if we've told our story 1,000 times and their ears are about to drop off from hearing it one more. We finally get the pitch that this is something that we're doing to ourselves, and that we are the ones, the designated ones, to undo it. And the way to go about that is, of course, to begin to live love. To begin to, from your own suffering, develop a compassionate heart for yourself. That then puts you in a much different frame of reference, because you then have empathy when you see it in someone else's life. You come to a place of recognizing that virtues, there's something to them. But the only way they really come alive is when you discover them in yourself, and choose to live them. Then this thing of truth, it starts to have a very different ring. You begin to realize that your truth is very vitally important to you, and to get it cleaned up to where it is unaffected by your own ignorance is very, very meaningful. We come to a place then of recognizing wisdom is something that is a fact and a truth for all of us. It is within you, it is within me. And it is when we come to that place of living it that we discover this is our substance. When we live these virtues, these frequencies, this then transforms itself into our true substance. You know, we're a courageous lot. We truly are. The thousands of harrowing experiences that we have collectively shared, the millions, perhaps the billions, reveals that we are a courageous lot. And it is our courage that often we can count upon to help us to come to that place of becoming authentic, to embracing our evolving, to embrace our intending, to embrace our imagining, and to embrace our serving. I would say that in a way, I was fortunate not to have parents who wanted to drive me in becoming who they thought I should be. They gave me basic foundational concepts, beliefs, attitudes, manners that, of course, as a young person, I pretty much trashed them all, which I would imagine some of you have experienced that likewise. And if you're young and you're getting stuff from your parents that you'd like to trash away, eventually you'll come to a place of a different perspective, a different respect, a different comprehension. But it's only as you, because of your genuineness, look again and see that often what the world offers up as what you should go after in order to become successful is an illusion. It's for you to decide in yourself what brings you meaning, what actually lifts you up, that which you feel you have that you can impart and give to another that is going to help them help themselves. So, everyone please exhale. Now this time when you inhale, breathe in the new smell of success. Perhaps you're smelling the fragrance of the orchids in front of you. That in itself is a measure of what we call source, always giving to us, always assuring us it's okay for us to be just the way we are. Thank you. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.